G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we will be looking at the Masterpiece MP53 Skids. Now, originally I was going to get, I believe it was X-Transbots released one, but I could never find one, so I got a nice Masterpiece one instead. And being someone who's trying to collect a full Masterpiece style, at least a good G1 collection, gotta get a Skids. He was in like, what, 2-3 episodes, and somewhere in the comics. I didn't read them, so I can't say for certain. But yeah, I saw this guy and I'm like, a bit of an odd choice for a, didn't notice it. Odd choice for a Masterpiece, but hey, why not? So he drives really well, and he looks really good. He does have some features, but let's quickly do our size comparison. Here he is with Windblade. She is a bit bigger. So he does have some features in this mode, and you can open the bonnet, open the doors, open the boot. So you just come under here and you can flip this up, comes out a little bit, and then flip up. And that reveals some engine detail. You can come in here and just pull the doors like so, and you get inside, and to my knowledge that you might be able to get a minifigure in there, but I haven't got any, so I'm not doing that. I'll just lock that back in place. And if we open up the boot, which partially pulled the roof off, his guns are in there, and I will say getting that in there is a pain in the butt, so honestly just put it in there if you really have to. So these are his guns. We'll put them off to the side. So there you go. So you have opening doors, opening boot, and opening bonnet. So there we go. So let's get down to transformation. Actually, first we'll quickly do his accessories. Just to get him out of the way, comes with a card, comes with instructions. Alright, let's get down to transformation. And honestly, he is very reasonably easy. So first things first, we're going to pop the bonnet again. And you're going to put the mirrors inside, and that can go back in place. Next, we're going to come back here, and we're going to lift all this up. And then we're going to come here and open these doors, which are nicely tabbed in, like so. And that will free up pretty much all that. So it's not too bad. Right, we'll move to the legs next. What we're going to do is we're going to split these in half. We're going to slide this down, lift this up. And this is going to come down. This is going to come up. And what you're going to have to do is you need to get this tab into here. So just sort of give it a pull down and forward, and that should lock it into place. Next, you can just fill out that gap. With that, it doesn't really tab in really anywhere, so it is what it is. Next, we're going to shimmy the foot down so it comes a bit to the front. We're going to move the toe, and this is going to tab into here, like so, providing you don't make it go back up again. This will flip up to become the heel, and then you can rotate the tire around to fill out the leg. So that's all you have to do with the legs. Back in a second, get to the second one. And there we go, 2 legs. So let's get to the rest of him. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift this up and shimmy this down a little bit. It may pop the top, but you just want to get it down enough here to give it a good bit of clearance. Then you can flip out the arms and pay attention to how these are organized, because getting them back in can be a pain. It's just a matter of making sure, and as you can see me trying to put it back in, it can be fiddly, but as long as you've got these to the front, you're pretty right. Alright, so get that arm back out again, like so. We'll get the other one out, just to give some thing. Alright, so we're going to stretch out the bicep, lower the fist. We're going to pull this forward and we're going to flip this up. So it gives us some clearance. Then that's going to fold back, and I don't know how well you're going to see this, but there is, if I can focus, a little port. And this has to tap into there. So you just got to line it up and hope for the best. Which now that I'm on camera, there we go, I got it. So there we go. And then we can rotate the arm around, bring that down. So this is at the front. Rotate that bicep. And voila, that's an arm all done. Back in a second. Right, 2 arms. Completely out of focus, but we've got 2 arms. So what we're going to do, and these will more than likely try to get in your way. Alright, so we will just flip this up a little bit and we're going to do these ab section. So this is going to come up here and tab into the sides, and then those wings are going to get in my way. Right. Now, you're going to think, oh, that just folds automatically up. You just want to fold this piece here, not this, this. You can do them on both sides, and the idea is, I don't know if I can show it, there's like a little incy-wincy port. So just move that out of the way. It's basically here. And I will say it tells you to plug it in now, but I promise you it's going to keep coming out. So don't expect it to stay tabbed in for long. So next what we're going to do is fold this all back, and it's on double hinge. There's a piece here and a piece here. And you're going to want to try to get that down reasonably far. Probably going to move a bit more with the head. And then what you're going to do is fold here and here, and there's a little port here which is supposed to go on here. And realistically, that is what's actually going to keep your back in place, not these tabs, because now that's not moving. So even if you fill with that, it's realistically you can just now push these up and that'll tab in. But this is actually the locking point that will keep your chest and backpack in place. Alright, so home stretch here. So there's a little port at the back of his head. Use your nail to bring that up, and then eventually once you've got it high enough, you can just turn him around. If you can't get that notch, chances are this isn't far enough down. And honestly, you'll know it's not far enough down because you can't tab it into here. So we'll fix the arms up, and voila. There is Skids in his robot mode. He does look damn good, all things considered. Haven't really gotten any official Masterpiece figures for a while. So the fact that I'm so used to but Fans Toys and all that having alternative faces, which this guy does not, and all that, and actually having to apply a sticker. For the first time in the longest time, I haven't had to apply a sticker. So that's nice, but yeah, he looks alright. He looks pretty good. I know this is a traditional backpack for him, but this is giving me vibes of Tracks and Bad Cubes, Huffer, and Pipes, honest to God, because there's giant gap in there. Even the Diaclone brothers don't have a giant backpack, well, not a giant backpack, but a giant hole in his back. So there we go. So let's get down to articulation, and I promise you there'll be a piece here that you'll be shocked at. So you can move these wings how you want. So you can doors, so you can have them further back if you want. His head is on a ball joint, it feels, so full 360. It actually not a ball joint. I think it's actually a mushroom peg, because he can look up if you don't engage the transformation joint. He looks down a little bit, but doesn't actually turn side to side. So there we go. That answers that. You can move, like I said, the doors to get out of the way, and you can do a full 360 with the arm. The arm can go crazy high because of the transformation joint. There's also this sort of locks in place, but you can somehow, if you sort of untab it a little bit, use that joint. He has bicep rotation. He has a double jointed elbow. Yeah, double jointed, looks like. Yep. Is it? Yeah. So it's in here and here. So there you go. He has wrist rotation. He has, and I'm kind of surprised. I am and I'm not. But it's got a single pin knuckle with typewriter fingers, a solid thumb. The index finger's on its own, and the other three are on their own. But there's no actual individual joints, so I'm actually surprised, all things considered. I know he's not exactly the most important character. He's not Optimus Prime, he's not Starscream and all that. But I figured at this point that Takara would start using fingers, proper individual fingers. So it's really bizarre about that. He does have a waist rotation. He does not realistically have an ab crunch. I think I'm just flexing things there. Alright, now we get into the surprise. So, leg goes up that far. There's no, this side skirt moves with it. This whole piece moves with it. It can go out that far, but doesn't really hold. That one holds. That one's a little bit loose somehow. So, like that. It can't go back. There's no backward movement. I'm actually looking to see if I've got it. But yeah, you cannot push the leg back. There's no hinge back here. There's no room because of this piece here. So you can get it forward, but you can't get it back. So if you like having your figures with a leg back and all that, you're not going to do it with this one. He has a single jointed knee. Like I said, it doesn't go very far. I don't know why that one's so loose. And it's not like there's a screw or anything. Maybe I can get in there, but anywho. It has ankle tilt, only that much. You can move it forward a bit. You can move that heel if it uses for you, but with the toe, you have to dislodge the connection to actually get it to move. So there we go. So very odd. Here we go. I've just articulated that shoulder there because I'm guessing that tab's not all the way in. There we go. So there we go. So very peculiar that this doesn't go backwards and it's still using typewriter fingers even though the index is individual. So, but either way, even with that loose hip, I don't know why it's that loose. He still holds a post really well. So let's arm him up. So you have a couple of choices. You can either tab here or here. I'm just going to put mine on here. So there we go. Then you take this one, do the same thing on here or here. And it's basically this here and this here and the piece. But honestly, I know the original G1 figure had the guns like that. I just find it really peculiar that they're not actually in his hands, or at least this one isn't in his hands. So there we go. So final size comparison. Let's bring in MP10. There he is. Tilt the camera up a little bit. So he is the size, for those who are curious, of an MP car. So if you have your Diaclone Brothers, your Sideswipe, and all that, he matches with them. But obviously, he is realistically somewhat dwarfed by MP10. So there we go. So if you like this figure, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this figure, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Maybe subscribe, ring the bell for other notifications. I post at least once a week, or maybe twice, depending on if I'm doing Lego. Maybe even give me a comment. Why do you think this guy's worth it? Or why do you think it's really peculiar that the leg doesn't work as well as it really should? But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.